So Curtis here, the married man to Shelby. Now, how he got her, I have no idea. He paid her a lot of money. So if you listen to Shelby, I get it. I hear you. He needs to pay you more money. Okay, I'm trying to help him out by buying something from him. But he's a Triumph. He's a Triumph guy. He actually owned a Triumph 900. But now the previous generation, this is the 2024 updated, redesigned, refreshed. So what makes this so much nicer than your 2023 or 2022?
Well, as much as I love my bike, don't get me wrong, there are a couple upgrades, keeping it light. Obviously, this is the new colorway. This is the new ash gray color. Really liking the way that looks. So you see it on that bobber right there and a few other Triumphs. This bike got about a 15 horsepower increase from my bike. That's definitely something that...
So how much horsepower is it now?
Mine made about 95. This one's going to be more like 110. So
okay.
Definitely a good difference there for
right.
street riding, and when you're in the highway in top gear, that power, you're going to feel the difference.
Okay.
Then the next major difference I'd highlight is the TFT has been changed from the previous... You might want to move the camera over to the left a little bit. It's been changed from the previous TFT, where now you'll have a dash that is much more reminiscent of the Tiger 1200 with the round dash,
right.
The round style tachometer, as opposed to this kind of left and right sliding scale.
Right.
And then you get, a really beefy new skid plate on from the factory. That's very different from the old Rally Pro.
What about the crash bar? Is that
crash
factory?
Bars are still standard. That was standard on the previous year as well.
Inverted front fork, is that the same?
Oh yeah, it's all the same. We still have the radially mounted calipers, so a lot of that, you already had a lot of really high spec parts on this bike, and now it's just got a little bit more juice. That's going to be your preload adjuster.
So it's not an electronic suspension?
The GT Pro is electronic. The Rally Pro is not electronic, but the suspension itself, I'd argue, is a little bit more capable.
So there's a different model. There's a higher grade model on this 900.
Essentially, the GT Pro that's the one I have. It's more convenient, and it's more geared towards people who are specifically interested in riding on the street and maybe are using their adventure bike almost as a sport touring bike as much as an adventure bike.
Okay, so what model is this?
This one is a Tiger 900 Rally Pro 2024.
And then it has one model above that.
There's the 1200, yeah.
Okay, so I want to make sure I understand you. This right here is the highest level 900 you can get.
This would be the highest price point and most capable 900 you're going to get.
So to get the electronic suspension, you go to the 1200.
You would go to the 1200, or you'd go to a less off-road oriented one. So the GT Pro and the Rally Pro, you have the GT Pro is essentially the top spec of the on-road adventure bikes.
Right.
Rally Pro is the top spec of the off-road. The GT Pro is slightly cheaper in terms of MSRP. It comes with the electronic suspension. That being said, you don't get an off-road Pro ride mode, which is a bit more capable on the Rally Pro. It turns off all the rider aids, and you wouldn't get the cross-spoked wheels that you see on this Rally Pro.
Right. So for the person watching my channel, they could opt for the 900 GT then.
Yeah, the 900 GT or GT Pro. That the GT Pro is what I've got, because I know myself, I really don't ride in the dirt. I just like the way the bike handles, so GT Pro all the way. I use it as a street bike.
So the 900 GT would have electronic suspension?
The GT Pro would have electronic suspension.
And how much more would that be for that bike?
It's going to cost, like I said, it's a little less than that.
Really?
Yeah, the electronic, because the wheels, I would imagine, might cost a bit more than the electronic suspension.
Right.
Does. So I don't know exactly what these costs are on the back end, but the fact is the Rally Pro is a little bit more expensive. It comes with fancier wheels and longer travel suspension and some more accessories, just not that electronic rear suspension.
So who would you recommend buys this model as the adventure rider versus the GT Pro model?
I would say the person who should get this is the kind of person that buys this bike. You've ridden off-road for a long time, and you want a larger bike, maybe not a full size, but you want a larger adventure bike that you could tour for across 3 states to get to your BDR and then ride your whole BDR route. This would be that bike.
Because that's a 7-gallon tank?
You'd still, no, the tank's not any bigger. This is really, the accessories from the factory are for off-road. The wheels are for off-road, and you have the off-road pro ride mode that's going to kill your rider age, so you can slide the bike
Right.
into bad traction. I have an off-road mode on my GT Pro, but it's not.
The default's always back. To
Yeah,
what it
and
was.
it's not quite as willing to let me do whatever I
Right.
need to in the bad traction.
But it's aesthetics wise, windshield wise, look wise. Besides the wheels, they look the same.
More or less. The color, you're going to have some small changes, like, one model might have crash bars, another doesn't, and maybe a different style skid plate.
Right.
But as far as general, the body panels, where everything is, the styled windshield, all of that's going to be common across these models. You'll just have different colorways and different little bobs and bits, depending on what you're looking at.
And this is a manual adjustment screen,
Yeah,
correct?
this is a manual, just, grab the bar, and it's a little spring-loaded.
Oh,
so
nice.
that way,
Right.
it holds itself in place on the road, and it won't vibrate itself.
Right. And we'll just start her up for the YouTubers just to hear a little,
I'll do that real quick.
so
Let
that
me close the
I already,
door so-
yeah, I talked to him. So here it is, 2024. You're probably one of the few dealers that has actually gotten one in yet.
Probably, yeah.
And let's see what we got. There you go. And it's a 3-cylinder inline,
Yep.
the Triumph.
Yep, just under 900 cc's, inline 3.
Right. Okay. That's good. Very good. All right. I'm going to wrap it up there. About a 6-minute video. Come see Curtis at Motorcycles of Dulles here in Dulles, Virginia. He'll help you pick out the right motorcycle.